Alright, so this is the lecture number 91 in our DSC series, and for now we are solving the problems related to recursion and backtracking. So if you have missed the first problem related to recursion, then you should watch that problem, because in that I have explained everything, like from where you should start recursion and how you should approach the recursion problem, and what are the mechanism to approach the recursion problem, like what is faith, what is expectation, and how we used to meet faith with expectations. Fine. So those are the, three important points, which are required to remember for everyone who wants to solve the problems related to recursion. So I would be putting the link into the description box, you can check out from there also. So because that is very important. If you are coming directly here, then of course here I am not going to explain each and every point related to recursion. I would be explaining something, but not each point, which I have discussed in my previous video. So you should watch that video. So coming to the today's problem, what we have to see. So look at this problem. Previously we have seen that print number in decreasing order. Now what we have to do? We have to print number in increasing order. So we can read this theory also. If not, then you can directly come here. If we have been provided a number as 5, then you have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is clearly mentioned that you do not have to use any loop. You cannot use any loop. Look at here. You cannot use any loop. This is requirement. Fine. So without using loop, you have to write the recursive logic to write this, to print this out. Fine. So we would use our faith and expectation mechanism, which we used in our previous video. So let us see how we would be able to approach this problem. Let us take it to the board. So this is our sample test case. And this was, I think, previous explanation. Let us try with fresh. So what is expectation from is what is the points which I was discussing initially. There are 3 points, which was you have to clarify what is expectation from you. Second point is you have to faith that a smaller problem will work for you. Third is meet your expectation with faith. So these are the 3 main points which you have to take care, or which you have to remember. Fine. While solving the recursion problems. So let us see, let us try to look at the expectation initially. What are the expectation? So if we have been provided a number called fun, this is a function name, and you have been provided 5, then you like this is the expectation from you, that your program should print like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And along with that, if we have been provided of like f1 of f of 4, sorry, if we have been provided f of 4, then your program should print 1, 2, 3, 4. Start with 1 and go till n, what the input provided to you. Fine. So along with that, you have been like, let us take example of this also. If you have been provided f of 3, then the expectation from you is your program should print 1, 2, 3. Let me switch. I hope you are able to see it now. So these are the expectation. If you have been provided with this input, then your program should print this. If you have been provided with this input, then you have like your function should print this. If you have been provided this with this 3, then your program should print 1, 2, 3. You start with 1, go till n, the input which is provided to you. So we'll use these 3 points, and using these 3 points we'll figure out the approach which we have to apply onto the current program. So our expectation is like, what is our expectation? If we have been provided 5, then our function should print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we know that if we have been provided f of 4, then this will eventually print 1, 2, 3, 4. That means if we already know that f of 4 will do its job for printing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, like this is our faith. Look at very carefully, this is our faith, this is expectation, this is our faith that 1, 2, 3, 4 will do its job. It will print from 1 to 4 and we have to print 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 2 3 4 5. So if f of 4 is printing 1 2 3 4 5, then print 5 itself. So eventually you would be able to get your 1 2 3 4 5. If it is not clear to you, then let us try to erase it, then let me explain it. Look at it very carefully. This is your expectation, this is your faith. Fine. Look at this function, you have been provided f of 5 and this was the expectation. Expectation was 1 2 3 4 5. But your faith is, if I call f of 4 from this f of 4, then what is the output for f of 4? F of 4 is doing 1 2 3 4 5. So after calling, sorry, it would not print 5, it would print only till 1 2 3 4 5. So if f of 4 or f of 5 minus 1 is doing its job for printing 1 2 3 4, then after printing this 1 2 3 4, just print 5 manually. Eventually you will get 1 2 3 4 5. If it is not clear to you, then let me write some code and then we'll analyze why it is working, how it is working, and what we can think, and how we can, and how we should approach these type of problems. So let us try to write some code. So what we will do, first of all we have to take the input, because you can see the input section we have been provided that an integer number would be provided to you. So system.in and an integer number. Now what we have to do is we have to call a function. Let us call this time as print increasing, not call as f or anything. So we have to define this function also. So static void the function, and we have to write here like this int, and we are receiving n. Fine. So look at till here what it is doing. So n is 5. Let us take example of if n is 5 and we have called this function print increasing with 5. So in n we have 5. So this, the expectation from this print increasing method is it should print 5, sorry, not 5. It should print 1 2 3 4 5. Fine. But we already know that if we have a function of a smaller input f of 4, then f of 4 already knows how to print like this 1 2 3 4. So if f of 4 knows, or we have faith on f of 4, then f of 4 will do its job. Then after calling this function f of 4, after calling this function, print your n, which is 5, manually. Eventually you would get your output 1 2 3 4 5. Fine. So we'll use this trick here. Let us see what I am writing. First of all, we have to call the same method for a smaller input, print increasing n minus 1. That means we will call f of 4 and f of 4 will print 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, and after printing 1 2 3 4, we just have to print 5, which is n. So eventually we will be able to get 1 2 3 4 5. Fine. So till now we have not written the base condition, and if you have watched the previous video, then in that video what I told you, base condition is must. So before writing the base condition, let us see what we are going to get. So the input is 6, let us make it 5. So we have stack overflow. Of course we are getting the stack overflow exception. Why? Because this function is calling itself and we have not stopped this function. Fine. So what we have to do is we have to apply some base condition. So to figure out where we should apply the base condition, I want to explain you the concept of stack again, how stack mechanism works in the case of function calling. I have explained this in my previous video also, but here also I want to explain because that is important. That is important. Suppose this is the stack. Fine. This is the stack. So if this is the stack, if we can see here, first of all, JRE or JDE is calling your main function. So main function would be listed here, and main function is calling print increasing method. Forget about this next step, because our main motive is with the print increasing method, pi. So pi would be called for what? For f of 5, sorry, for 5 input. Let us take n is 5. Fine. So if n is 5, let us take this code to bold also. Fine. So if n is 5, then what it is doing? Sorry, n is 5. I usually do more mistake while writing. I don't know why. So n is 5. So pi is called for n is 5. So before doing anything, we are just calling this method, which is f of 4. You can see n minus 1. So f of, not f of, pi of 4. Pi of 4. We have called pi of 4. Again, new instance would be created into the stack. You can see it is created. So again, it would be like this. Pi of int n would contain 4 this time. So if n is 4, before doing anything, we are calling this method. So again call this method pi with 3 this time, because n minus 1. Before doing anything, we are again calling same method for n minus 1. N is 3 this time. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So now n is 2. So while coming into this function, before doing anything, we are calling this function within a smaller value, which is n minus 1. In this case, n would be 1. So if n is 1, then this is the point where we should stop. Like if you can see, we are not stopping here. So it would code for pi of 0, it would code for pi of minus 1, pi of minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. This is why it is saying stack is overflow. Your stack memory has been full. So that is why, like it is saying, you have not make any base condition, or you have not stopped your function. That is why stack memory is full due to these function call. Fine. So we have to stop it somewhere. So the point is where we should stop. So if you can see here, this is the point where we should stop, because we want to print only till 1. Fine. So once this method would be returned from here, like if this is, let us suppose if we have written a base condition here, if n is equals to 0, then return from here. This is the first line on the function, this is second line, this is third line. So if this is being written, like if f of 0 is returning, or pi of 0 returning to pi of 1, so control will return to here, and then this line would execute. So in this case, n is what? N is 1. So 1 would be printed. So before 1, we do not want to print anything. So that is why we have to stop our function if n is 0. Fine. So this would be our base condition, that if n is 0, then we have to return from here. Fine. Let us now try to run the same code with the base condition. So you can see we are getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let us try to run it for 6 also. Then we should be able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are getting. Let us try to submit it. And 5 of 5 test cases are passing. So let us try to analyze this code this time, because this is very important. Now we have this code. Fine. And great. Let us erase it, faith and expectation. Let us erase the stack also. But we would be needing a stack, I think. Yes. Let us make a stack. Fine. So this is the stack. Initially, stack contains main, but we do not have to worry about main. We just have to take care of our print increasing method. Fine. Color combination is not good, so I will have to use the same color. Fine. So initially this is in stack. Call it as pi of 5. So we have pi of 5. Fine. I think we should remove this. So initially we have pi of 5. So before doing anything, let us take this. N is, if n is 0, no n is not 0, so this would not be executed. After checking this, we are calling again the same method with a smaller input, which is pi of 4 this time. Again n is not 0, so this method would again called, so with pi of 3. Again n is not 0, so this method would again called with pi of 2. Again n is not 0, so this method would again called pi of 1. Again n is not 0, n is 1 now, so this method would call again. So now we have pi of 0. Now n is 0, so if n is 0, then return from here. So if we write return from here, return statement, then this control, the control from this method would be returned to here. So now this would make you return to here. Now this line is executed successfully. So if this line is executed, then this would be printed. So at this point, what is the value of n? At this point, what is the value of n? So n is 1. So print 1. After printing 1, this function would be executed. That means this method would be popped out from the stack. So this is popped out and this would be again popped out. And control will return to from where that method was called. So pi of 2. So if n is 2, so like this method has returned to here and pi of 2. So if this is done, then we have to execute this line. So n is what? N is 2. Print n. This time print 2. If this method is completed, then this would be popped out from the stack. Now we have control on pi of 3. So if n is 3, then this line is completed. Now it will print n. N is what? 3. So 3 would be printed. After printing, this method would be popped out from the stack. And now we have control on pi of 4. So if n is 4, this line is completed. Print n. N is what? 4. 4 would be printed. After printing, this method would be popped out from the stack. Now we have control on pi of 5, from where this everything was started. So after calling f of 4 is completed. Now we have to print n, which is 5. So this. So 5 is already printed. Now if 5 is printed, then this would be popped out. Everything is popped out from the stack. Now program will end. Of course, after popping out the main method from the stack. So can you see, after having the faith and expectation mechanism, we are able to get our output successfully. You can see we have been provided n as 5. We had faith and f of 4 will do its job for printing 1, 2, 3, 4. And in the end, we just have printed 5. Eventually, we are going to get our answer. So this is the beauty of faith and expectation mechanism in case of recursion. And if you still do have any concern or any question in the recursion on any faith and expectation mechanism, then what you should do, you can comment down below to this video. I would be clearing your doubt there also. And what you can do, you can reiterate this video also, so that you should not be having any issue in case of recursion, because recursion is the very important topic. If you want to learn DP or trees and graph concept, then recursion is must in that case. Fine. So I hope I was able to explain you the concept of recursion or printing the numbers in increasing order. And the next problem from this would be printing the numbers in increasing and decreasing both. So we have to now we have to combine both of these approaches, and we have to generate some new results. So let us get started with that video. Now let us try. This is the time for stopping this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.